Okay, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, but let's get right to it, okay? I've been down for a few days with a really bad cold, so if I sound crazy, just ignore it for now. But so much news has been breaking, and I was like, man, I got to get over this sickness because I got to get back into this and start telling people what's going on if they haven't seen it. And I finally got the motivation this morning because Bloody Disgusting, the website, had an article today that I happened to catch about the new Dark Crystal. Okay, now they're doing a 10-part episode series. Netflix is producing in conjunction with Jim Henson's company, along with Brian Froud, who is the original designer of all of the creatures. He also has so many books, and people get tattoos of Brian Froud fairies and stuff all over them. I mean, this guy is like a brilliant artist, okay? Nobody can deny that. And he even did work on Labyrinth too, like the sketches and things like that. So The Dark Crystal was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. It scared the hell out of me, some of the scenes, mostly the giant crab creatures that were chasing the gelflings. Gotham! You know, and they start coming around and all that other kind of stuff. And I just, that movie scared me, but I also loved it. I loved the Skeksis. I loved all the characters that were in the movies. I especially leaned towards the Skeksis because they were a lot cooler. I mean, let's just be honest. They were cooler than the Gelflings and the Pudgelings and all those other kind of creatures. Although I did like Fizzgig. But anyway, so they finally, you know, they've been talking about this, and a couple of months ago, there was a photo that was released from a behind-the-scenes featurette where there was somebody in a Skeksi, you know, operating a Skeksi puppet, you know, with green screen and all this kind of stuff, and my mouth was like, and it just looked so good. But they released the cast list. This is what Bloody Disgusting was reporting. The cast list, and of course I was like, I had to read it, had to see who was in it, and I was totally stoked. So the cast, we've got some really cool people that are going to be in it. Helena Bonham-Carter is going to be in this thing. Natalie Dormer, which she was like my crush on Game of Thrones. Eddie Izzard's going to be in this thing. Mark Strong. You've got Taron Egerton, you know, who just was in the flopped Robin Hood, but dude, he's good in the Kingsman. He should have been Han Solo in the Solo films. That's my personal opinion. If you weren't going to go with Ingruber. Anyway, make a long story short, the list goes on and on and on and on, and I was totally stoked. And so those are like the Gelfling characters, okay? And then the list of the Skeksis and the Mystics. The Mystics were the guys with the like 4 arms that would yeah. And then the Skeksis, yes, Gotham, you know, the trial by sword, you know, they were this, or trial by stone. They were like the coolest creatures in the world. And one name that stuck out that was just completely perfect, Mark Hamill is going to be playing a Skeksi. Now, the Skeksis and the Mystics, I don't know if, of course, Mark can do multiple voices. The guy's crazy, but to have, it would be too easy to make him go Luke Skywalker, Walker-ish, and make him be this, you know, old wizard type. Dude, he's going to be a Skeksi because he's the Joker, you know, in the animated series. So I could just see him being the whimpering worm, you know, or just having one of those other great characters, or he may even be the one, because this, all right, so the series is a prequel, because if you watch the original Dark Crystal, they heal the crystal by the end, and the 2 leads, Gelflings, meet for the first time during that movie and fall in love. Well, they're in the prequel episodes because they've also put out some images of the recreated puppets, but obviously they never interact, or they can't interact, because that would make the Dark Crystal weird, because those characters meet for the first time in that. So I don't know how they're going to juggle that thing there, but we'll see. But Mark Hamill, Simon Pegg, and I was like, Simon Pegg. I mean, he's the one guy that manages to get into every badass, cool sci-fi series ever created. He snuck into Star Trek, he snuck into Star Wars, and now he's going into the Dark Crystal world. Like, come on, man. Dude, that guy is living such a dream. Besides Mission Impossible and Shaun of the Dead and all the great things that this guy's done, Simon Pegg just continues to be a badass and keeps getting involved in everything that probably made up his childhood. I wish I could be him. Another little surprise was Andy Samberg from Saturday Night Live and Brooklyn Nine-Nine and all that, you know, Dick in a Box and all those good songs that those guys put out. And Donna Kimball, who played the one puppet in the Happy Time Murders, is going to be voicing Olgra. Now remember, Olgra in the Dark Crystal, she was the one with the one eye should take out in place and, you know, dumped all the crystals in front of the Gelfling. Which one is it? You don't know. And it had to call to him for him to figure out, and he did his little flute thing and the crystal called to him. Olgra was one of my favorite characters in the Dark Crystal, and so Donna Kimball is going to be doing the voice. Really cool stuff, man. If you haven't seen the original Dark Crystal and you're a young kid that probably didn't grow up in the 80s, go out and find it. Find it on DVD. I don't know what streaming service might have it now. I don't really think Netflix has it, but I'll have to search it out. But you guys have got to check out the original Dark Crystal because it really was a masterpiece. And it really was one of those deals where, just like with Labyrinth and just like George Lucas kind of experimented this with, which is why he got Frank Oz and they created Yoda. He wanted to make puppets like live action, like a real thing, and Jim Henson wanted that too. He wanted to be able to tell stories that weren't just Sesame Street branded stories, fleshed out characters. And you know, Brian Froud created what a mystical, crazy visions of these things that he could just come up with. As I sip, because I'm still getting over the cold, the flu, at the Goonies Never Say Die mug, some green tea. Yes, wife, I'm using your mug instead of my classic Star Wars. But anyway, so look, I'm totally stoked about the Dark Crystal, and I hope you guys are too. And if you like this video, let me know, what are your thoughts? Did you check out the Bloody Disgusting article on the Dark Crystal and who got all? There's so many more voices that are in this thing, so check it out. I'll have a link below in the comment section or the description for you to go check out Bloody Disgusting's article, and you know, leave comments. Still getting over the cold. Subscribe to my channel, share this video, and we'll see you on the next video.